So I think one of the greatest features on Google Slides is this ability to be able to share so quickly with either maybe a class or classes that you have on your Google Classroom, or better yet, sharing with your colleagues. So here is a short video about how you can share your presentation with others. So we're going to come up here and we're going to click on this yellow button up here called share. All right, once that opens up, it's going to give you a couple of options. Number one, let's say that you are working with some colleagues at your school. You can just simply start typing their name and they're going to automatically pop up if they're in your contact list. All right, but you can also just type in their emails and do it that way. The other great thing is, let's say that I've got a colleague, all right, and he doesn't mind if I show his email here. Let's say I want to share it with this colleague here, Mr. Collins, over at my other school. I can share it with Mr. Collins. However, I don't want Mr. Collins to be able to be an editor. So I'm going to drop him and not drop him, but I'm going to change his status just to be a viewer rather than an editor. All right, so I am going to share that with Mr. Collins, but he cannot make any sort of edits on this copy. All right, and then I can send that to him, and now he would have this whole presentation in his possession. All right, you can type in a little message if you want to. So that is a great way. The other thing is making sure what you want to do down here in terms of privacy. So this entire year, rather than just sharing it with my school district, I've actually made it so that anyone with the link can get to this presentation. And the reason why is because I've noticed that with a lot of my students, they are maybe on their own personal device, maybe on a mom and dad device, and they are not necessarily logged into their school district account. So when you select this option, anyone with the link will be able to get to it. If you keep it on Renton School District, it's somewhat limiting, and so students don't often make that connection, especially at the elementary level, that they need to be logged into their district account and in order to get to this presentation. So I just automatically adjust it to say anyone with the link. And there is one final way that you can share this. So we're going to get out of there for a minute. Now this is really fantastic. Let's say that you want to share this presentation, however, you don't want anybody to, again, make any changes to it. What you can do is you can copy this entire URL. So we're going to hit Control C, and then let's say that I want to email it to one of my colleagues. So we'll open up an email. All right, we'll open up an email and we'll say that we're going to start a new email. And again, my colleague over here, Mr. Collins, he does not mind if I share his email. So let's say that we want to email Mr. Collins and we want to email him this whole presentation. So we're going to Control and we're going to paste that in. All right, now here's the really cool, sophisticated part about Google Slides. You're going to take right here, right where the word edit, and this will pop up on all your Google Slides. When you see the whole URL, every Google Slides will have that word edit in it. What you're going to do is you're going to highlight from there all the way to the very end, and you're going to replace that by saying copy. So we're going to replace that whole last end, and we're going to say copy. All right, so we can send that email off to Mr. Collins, and here's what it's going to look like on his side. So we will now use this new URL, all right, and you're going to see what happens here. We'll paste that in, and now we will automatically, whoever receives that will be forced to make a copy of that presentation, thereby not allowing that individual to make any sort of adjustments on the original document. because now they are making a copy of that Google Slides. So this is a wonderful option. Again, if you want to share it, but you don't want anybody to make any sort of changes to the original. So now they can make a copy. It automatically forces them to do so. A great way of sharing.